Welcome back to Freedom to Think. This is another for our Freethinker React series. I'm your host, Jeff, and today in studio, my beautiful wife, Keegan. Thank you so much for joining us. So I've had Keegan in for a whole bunch of videos, and I, on my channel, have a massive and extensive Tom MacDonald playlist. So I've been trying to nudge her in the direction of Miss Nova. And we did the Ghost video, which you got to see her because she was in it, but it was still Tom's song from the Discord. And you guys, you got to join the Discord, follow me on X, send me suggestions, and just a little tip for everyone. If you go to people's other social media accounts where they don't have as big a following, it's easier to get directly in touch with them. You message me direct on X, Twitter, Twix, as I like to call it, or any of the other places. You might actually get your recommendation. Just saying. From Thatcher and reminded by Puddle, come on, Jeff D, get to reacting. With a link to Nova's Lost Girls. I haven't seen it. She hasn't seen it. But we have a promo to watch from Tom, and then we'll go into the song.
My beautiful girlfriend just dropped her new music video, Lost Girls. We met 15 years ago. I was there when she signed to a major label. I witnessed the music industry crush everything she loved. I stood with her while she fought to get off that label for the last 12 years. And I'm here now for her first solo independent release. As much as I love the videos she makes for me, I hate seeing her hide behind a camera because the music industry made her feel like she isn't enough. It took a decade for her to stop running from the wounds they caused, and now she's running towards a dream that they couldn't kill. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for her. I've been showing the world who I am for the last 6 years, and now it's time for me to help her show the world who she is, and she is absolutely incredible. Check out Nova's new video, Lost Girls. It's out now. Love y'all.
I'm definitely interested in the song. It'd be a real big letdown if it sucks, I think, as the build up and the hype is there. I like that they did a speed run through kind of the history, though. Like, she signed with the music label. It messed her up, and then she was trying to get out of the contract, which is a pretty common thing. The musicians get stuck in a contract. They think that they're doing a great thing by signing with the label, and then they get all these puppet strings, and they can't be as creative or independent, free with their own music. Their own work is no longer their own work, basically.
They don't know all the fine print along with it before.
Yes.
Now, that's definitely cool. Cross promotion. I think it's cool how they were talking about how they were building their music industries, like, kind of semi together, but then like they're growing it together instead of getting together after it's already built. It's kind of cool.
Yes. That is definitely cool. I feel the parallels, you know, with you doing the hair and makeup for the channel. I'm like, hey, honey, how's this? I'm like, hey, honey, how's this wig look?
Could you make me a hat and a hook?
Hey, like 2 days ago, actually, was that today? You're like, hey, your pink bunny suit is washed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I did wash your bunny suit.
You hung it up. You're like, hung it up. You're like, here, I washed your pink bunny suit. Thanks, honey. You're a ride or die for real. Okay. All right, well, first things first, these are independent artists. We always want to support independent artists, so we're going to buy the song. I'll leave the link for the original video if you want to go check that out and show Nova some love.
I just got to add, too, that I also let you know when you need a haircut because the headphone hair is intense.
Oh, yeah. That's true. It does get pretty high level. It's okay when it's short, but when it's long, it looks like there was an alien invasion on my head. Crop circles around my ears.
And the top.
And the top. Oh, yeah. No, it's all bad. It's all bad news. All right, we're there. Also, you know Nova is like a gaming streamer.
Yeah, you told me. You said it's gay. He said it's called Nova Sucks at Gaming.
Yes, which is really cool. If you guys, I mean, for those of you who follow the channel, I do gaming streams occasionally. Sometimes I'll have Keegan come in for like Left 4 Dead, or we sync up online, and we got a Fall Guys W last time. If you don't know what Fall Guys is, you're missing out. That's all I can say.
Wore my not to do much. Kids in the system that nobody loves. Sitting in bus stations, sun coming up. Nowhere to sleep, so we need to find drugs. All we had was us screaming, don't give up. Barely 15, but we had to grow up. Arms full of cuts and nobody to trust. How can you have dreams and you're us? I was always hanging with the lost girls. They're running from the cops, seen a lot of girls. Can I crash at your house? Nowhere to go, girls.
Oh, man. Where's Tori?
Jeffrey.
My sister. So I like this now. So it's been totally framed in my head like the Lost Boys of Peter Pan. So it's kind of the misfits, kind of the people that didn't fit in, the people that ostracized, orphaned, kind of cast out.
I feel like it's the opposite, though, where they don't grow up. Like, she's growing up too fast in that type of environment.
That's true. But yeah, it's telling of her early days if she's talking about being in that crowd. I was just talking about having arms full of cuts and no one to trust and getting kicked out and asking to crash on your couch and all that shit. So that's less than ideal circumstances for sure.
I've seen a lot of girls. Can I crash at your house? Nowhere to go, girls. Now the escorts are overdose girls. Oh, things will sell for a little more liquor. Ooh, now you're homesick for a place that you've never known. Ooh, all we know is climbing fences in the dark. And all we know is growing up was way too hard. And all we know is we missed who we lost in the park. And all we know is perfect people that we are. Nowhere to go but found someone to boo. Someone got drugs, so tonight is the moon. Got no one to be and got nothing to do. Barely 15 when we dropped out of school. No one to care, nobody to call. Wearing whatever we steal from the mall.
Wearing whatever we steal from the mall. Okay. I'm keeping it real. This reminds me of both of my sisters now. Tori and Lizzie. I have a third sister, but it doesn't remind me of her. I don't get the Lost Girls vibes from her as much.
Yeah, not really.
I don't want to out them as doing drugs and stealing clothes from the mall, but the spirit of it is definitely there. Just, being the outcasted ladies, like she said, 15 and dropped out of school. I can't say I identify with that. I did briefly run away from home when I was 16. So, everyone has their rebellious teenage stories.
Care, nobody to call. Wearing whatever we steal from the mall. Lost a few on the way, paint their names on the walls. I swear that it wasn't our fault. I was always hanging with the lost boys. They're running from the cops, done a lot, boys. They're out there selling rocks, popping off, boys. Now they're doing drugs, so they got shot, boys. Oh.
Okay. Now we're with it. Now we're with it. The very...
What brought it together, Jeff?
What'd you say?
What brought it together?
What brought it together? Yeah, no, well, what brought it together is seeing the guys, unfortunately, that are attracted by those girls. And so I've definitely seen that, unfortunately, in some of the ladies in my life, drawing in those kind of boys, which are a huge problem. I thought the actors are really good in this that they found.
Mm-hmm.
They got them dressed up properly, or they just found them that way and were like, you, we're gonna bring you in. We're not gonna say the lyrics out loud because we don't want to offend you. That we're typecasting you as the problem people of society.
Backdrop's pretty good too. I mean, it looks pretty accurate for where they would be hanging out.
Yeah, this has given me like super retro kind of like 90s, super early 2000s. Just the aesthetic is that type of, it's like the punkish mall rat type people from that era. today those people would be dressing as the opposite gender.
Different type of misfit.
Different type of misfit.
I think a lot of those people get kind of like trapped in those atmospheres, and that's kind of what she was saying. Like with the lyric, all we know is whatever, because like that's what they're around. Not good influences and that kind of peer group and all that.
That's true. That's a good point.
So they're just like, this all I know. How to get in trouble and
Surround myself by other people who are also in trouble.
doing the same stuff. And I mean, they're still not happy. They're running from the cops and yeah, dropping out of school, all that stuff. It's not really
Well,
a fulfilling lifestyle.
she said if someone has drugs, then we're to the moon tonight, meaning
Right.
we're all getting high, and that's like our happiness.
Well, our short-term happiness
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Long-term problem.
Long, yeah.
Lot boys, they're out there selling rocks, popping off boys. Now they're doing drugs, so they got shot boys. Oh, the things you'll do to make time pass quicker. Ooh, ooh. Now you're dope sick in a highway motel alone. Ooh, ooh. All we know is climbing fences in the dark. And all we know is growing up was way too hard. And all we know is we missed.
Okay, I'll admit something. I knew people, I'm not outing a name, but I knew people who had sticky fingers in New York. So,
Shocker.
yeah. So I see the lady filling up a backpack, and then, the guy stuffing his pockets while they had the distraction person hitting on the guy at the checkout counter. So they have a whole smooth operation going there. Yeah, feel exposed there. It's like, I'm not the misfits. Unfortunately, got a glimpse. I was like, oh man, like that was me a little bit in there for a very brief time. Like just before I left New York, basically, I was on that path to kind of be one of those like fuckboy type people that's really unhinged.
Well, I think it kind of originates from a couple things. Number one, like where you're from,
Yeah,
like the environment you're around. Like if you're in the middle of the ghetto, you're gonna act like what you're around.
that's true.
And then also your home environment. If your home environment's really bad, then you turn to that too. So
That's
I just
all
don't
correct.
think that most people that have like a good normal upbringing go into that as much. Sure,
Right.
there's outliers, but
Yeah. If they have like a super self-hating ideology, then you can go from like a really great home to, self-hating anyway, and then needing a whole bunch of intervention.
yeah, well, that would be
Acting
part of the
out.
environment not being good though, outside of the home,
That's true. That's a good point.
the school or whatever that's influencing that.
Growing up was way too hard. And all we know is we missed who we lost in the park. And all we know is perfect people that we are. And all we know is climbing fences in the dark. Too much kids in the system that nobody loves. Is growing up was way too hard. The sun's coming up, nowhere to sleep, so we need to find drugs. As we missed who we lost in the park. Screaming, don't give up. Barely 15, but we had to grow up. We know it's perfect people that we are. Arms full of cuts, look, and you have dreams in your eyes.
They got the Nova Sucks at video games
Yeah.
plug right there. I love that.
Funny.
That's great. Yeah, I like that. It says for the ones we lost at the park. So either drug overdose or getting arrested or, just
Yeah.
having the lifestyle kind of consume you in some way or another. Because some people have that phase of being a misfit, degenerate, and
That's
then you
true.
grow out of it.
Usually you don't go to like extreme level though if you're going to grow out of it.
Correct.
But that's true. You can. I mean,
Right.
there's definitely some successful people that have come from environments like that.
Yep. They smoke a little of the devil's lettuce, you know. They have a couple little petty crimes that they commit here and there. But they're not like morally bankrupt to the point where, you know, they're like stealing from grandma for meth money, like that kind of thing. You know, there's kind of there's levels.
Yeah. Even within the
Degenerate
degenerates,
community.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But as she's saying, it's more of like they were lost. They're lost girls, you know, so like you said, they don't have a strong, we can just say it, like a strong nuclear family typically that's like,
Yeah, they don't have somebody pointing them in a good direction.
right.
So they're just like lost and they're just like, okay, I'm just going to go with the crowd. What's around me? That's how I'm going to fit in and be cool and feel like I belong to something.
Right. So your family becomes the other outcasts in the streets, and they're not always the best influence, as they're saying drugs, theft, staying up all hours of the night, partying, doing whatever. So there's just so many people that identify with that. So I know, like I said, between my own parallels and then other family members, I'm from Rochester, New York. So it's like the highest per capita homicide rate in the country, many years. Just a lot of crime. It's like your cousins and your uncles and aunts. I mean, really just all your family can be like sweet people, but they're a little bit degenerate.
I think
mean,
you have to be a little bit to blend in with those types of areas too. Because if you're not, then you're just like the oddball and you're going to be targeted.
that's
So
true.
you kind of have to know a little bit of the rules of the street or you just can't really exist there.
That's 100% correct. Yeah,
You just got to move, honestly. You just got to get out of those areas.
that's definitely the best option is just move. One thing I will say though, I was expecting, because I know that she's like a legendary level rapper, and in a previous song she did Chrome from the Brave 2, and she came in with like these epic high level hip hop flows with rapping. So I was expecting a little bit more in the rapping category from this song.
Yeah, that was pretty slow.
It was very melodic. The singing was good. The guitar was good. Honestly, I really liked the chorus. I'm just going to keep it totally real with you guys. As somebody who makes these kind of videos, there's quite a few where while I'm editing, I like get sick of the song because it's just not that good on repeat. Like it's cool to react to and to break into the lyrics and to go into the meaning with the video visually. But then it's a whole nother thing to actually like the song in your playlist and let it ride. I like this one. I feel like this is going to be a good on the repeat song for my musical tastes. It would be an honor to throw this in my gaming stream playlist because I know Nova's a big gamer. So
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
So when people pop in and that's like playing in the background, that'll be special. Really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I agree, too. I thought it was going to be more fast-paced just because of the other stuff from Tom, I guess, mostly.
Yeah, Keegan isn't really a big rap fan. So this was potentially setting up for her to be like, guys, you know, it's not really my cup of tea. Trying to be nice.
Well, there's also the lyrics aspect, too, though. So
Yep.
even if you don't like the music, the lyrics can still be pretty cool.
Yeah. And I think that's cool that you were willing to join me enough to start to understand the benefit of the messaging versus the exact message, you know, in the sound. Because if you're like, oh, wow, that's like a really cool and relevant line, there you're just like, these lyrics are crushing. But then there's a totally separate conversation of, do I like this song?
Yeah.
Hearing it.
Definitely.
I just think it's my job and our job to break down the other aspects of it. For one, I think it's really cool that she had actors play, because most of Tom MacDonald's type of music is just him in front of the camera.
Yeah, that's true.
they found people, they hired people, they had multiple scenes, multiple sets to just kind of play out a night of the Misfits going around doing their thing, so that someone like us can kind of relive those things and be like, oh shit, yeah, like I remember this guy and I remember this lady and I remember doing this and sneaking out and doing all these things. So they really kind of put us in like as one of the Misfits in the crowd going along with these guys doing their thing. That was really cool. I like the artistic nature of that. And Nova probably got to shoot those because she's like the super high level camera person doing all her things. Then she was shot in the in her scenes where she was in the park. And from what I understand, that's Tom's sister is like her in training camera person.
Okay.
So she's been like working a lot with her to teach her how to run the camera.
Yeah, if she's gonna be behind in front of the camera, then she needs somebody behind the camera.
Yep. Which
What?
Keegan took a video of me for my new Thoughtcast intro. And I was like, okay, I'm going to like CGI myself into a portal in the sky. And I'm going to wave people in. And the portal's going to come into the studio. I was like, it'll make sense. It'll be cool. But I just need you to video me. So anyway, I conned her into starting taking some videos of me. Because you can only do so much completely still or with like a selfie stick. You know what I mean?
I'm just not even surprised by your requests anymore.
Yeah, the very first one, like, Keegan, I need you to punch me in the face. And she's like, I'm in. Done. That's it. Yeah. that was easy. I was like, yeah, this will be a good foot in the door.
A good intro.
Good intro. And then play video games. So we kind of baby stepped our way into this. And I'm pretty excited. Anyway, that was good. I like that. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good too. Just kind of exposing the problem and the environment of those type of misfits that get into that stuff.
Right. And I like that. I'm trying to think of a good way of putting it, but it didn't feel like she endorsed it or condemned it. She was just saying what it was.
That's true. I was waiting for her to be like, oh yeah, and I was this part of this group, but she never really went into that. I think maybe it's inferred that she was into that kind of stuff.
Well, I definitely, she was saying I was.
Okay.
Or at least I thought I remember her saying she was all of the things. So I thought that was part of it. I'll have to relook at it in the edit. She never condemned the behavior, but she wasn't saying that's how you're supposed to be. She was just saying, like, this is how the Lost Girls operate, basically.
Yeah, just explaining how it works.
Right. Because, yeah, obviously you don't want to be with the guys that are going to be breaking your heart and getting you into jail and drugs. Like, that's not a good thing necessarily.
I never understood what the draw to that was, like for the getting with the dudes like that.
I don't know. If you guys would throw in the comments, what is the draw to toxic druggies? If somebody knows, I'd like to know. I'm not asking my sisters.
Well, it was a short-term draw, so.
Yeah, they're good now. They're good. But same with Nova, because she got with Tom, and he's sober and awesome. So, you know, sometimes you just got to go through those phases. Not everyone has like the ride off into the sunset, happy ever after like we do.
Yeah, right off into the sunset.
I made her like belly laugh earlier, and I was like, if I could get one of those good laughs a day, you'll stick around.
And I told you I was here for the ramen.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's what it is. I'm sorry. You're just here for the ramen. That's great. Hey, you know what? That's how we do it around here. So thank you for coming. If you enjoyed the video, please like, please comment what you think, what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next video. Maybe I'll get Keegan back for something down the line.
Got my number figured out, a motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. rather be a dreamer. I'd rather be free. I'd rather
I'll leave a link where you can buy the original.
You're making more work for editing.
It's okay. The editor could kiss my ass.
be a poser in a magazine. I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.